Hey there, I'm June and I'm 29 years old, and boy, do I have a doozy for you all. I'll just jump straight into it because I don't want to waste you all's time. You see, I always thought that I was destined for a mediocre life. I never thought that I would do anything extra or anything. So I just settled for a quiet and simple life, which I was grateful for. Asher, that's my husband, he's always been a laid-back guy, easy to get along with. We weren't the kind of couple that fights over the little things. We'd come home from work, chat about our day, maybe binge watch a TV show, and that was it. Normal. Boringly normal. But now, let me tell you about Candace, my mother-in-law. You know how most stories have this villainous figure in the form of the mother-in-law? Well, Candace wasn't that. In fact, I was pretty grateful for her. She was sweet and caring and treated me like her own daughter. We'd chat over coffee, go shopping together, and she'd share these amazing family recipes with me. But there came a point in my life when this normalcy, this routine, started to feel like a straitjacket. I was in my late 20s and every day felt like déjà vu. Wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat. It wasn't like I had a terrible job or a terrible life, but it just wasn't enough. You see, I had this feeling deep inside me that I was destined for more. I was young and energetic, and the world was changing rapidly with the internet. Everyone seemed to be working remotely, starting their own businesses and living life on their own terms. And there I was, stuck in my cubicle, doing the same thing day in and day out. It wasn't like I had some grand dream I was chasing. I didn't want to become a millionaire or change the world. I just wanted more. More from life, more from myself. I wanted to explore my potential to see what I could achieve beyond this 9-to-5 routine. So I started thinking about it, dreaming really, and as the days passed, my dream became more defined. I wanted to work online independently and have the freedom to explore different opportunities. It wasn't about escaping my job. It was about finding something that ignited my passion. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, my desire to quit my job and pursue something more meaningful grew stronger. I couldn't shake this feeling that I needed to break free from the chains of my cubicle and discover what truly lit a fire within me. But there was a nagging hesitation that kept me from taking the plunge. How would Asher react to this? Our life was stable, predictable, and seemingly perfect. We had our routines, our comfort zone. I didn't want to disrupt our family income and dynamics with what might be seen as selfish desires. However, the more I mulled it over, the clearer it became that I had to talk to Asher. This wasn't just a fleeting whim, it was a calling, something I felt deep in my bones. I couldn't ignore it any longer. So one evening after dinner, I finally mustered up the courage. We sat down on the couch, Asher and me, side by side, just like we had so many times before. I took a deep breath, looked into his eyes, and began to share my feelings. Hey, Ash, can we talk about something? Of course, June. What's on your mind? Well, it's about my job. You know how I've been feeling lately, like I'm stuck in a rut? Yeah? I've noticed. Is everything okay at work? It's not about work being bad. It's just, I've been thinking, I want something more in life, something different. Different? What do you mean? I mean, I want to quit my job and explore other opportunities. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet, but I feel this burning desire to pursue something that truly excites me. June, if it's going to make you happy and fulfilled, I'm all for it. Your happiness means everything to me, even if we don't have all the details figured out yet. Really? You're not mad or worried about the financial aspect? Not at all. Money comes and goes, but your happiness is priceless. We can figure out the financial stuff together. And hey, I can even help you brainstorm some ideas if you'd like. Asher, you're amazing. I love you so much. I love you too, June. We're a team, and I'm here to support you in chasing your dreams. And so, with Asher's unwavering support, we embarked on a journey of brainstorming and self-discovery. I knew I wanted to run my own business and maybe sell my handmade crafts and artwork on platforms like Etsy. The path ahead was uncertain, but with my loving husband by my side, I felt more inspired and motivated than ever. That should have been the end of it, right? Oh God, if only it were that simple, LOL. One sunny afternoon, I met up with Candace for one of our regular coffee dates. We were sipping lattes and chatting about various topics when I mustered the courage to bring up the subject that had been on my mind for a while. Hey, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's a big decision I've been thinking about. Oh, sweetheart, you know you can tell me anything. What's on your mind? Well, I've been thinking about quitting my job. I want to explore new opportunities and maybe start my own business and sell my creations online, you know. Oh, that's an interesting idea, dear. But have you really thought this through? I have. I've discussed it with Asher and he's supportive. I just feel like I need a change, something more fulfilling, you know. Fulfilling? June, you're being incredibly selfish here. You have a stable job, a wonderful husband, and a comfortable life. Why would you throw that away for some whim? People in the cafe looked just as surprised as me. I was so surprised at this sudden outburst. I didn't expect this reaction. I thought you would understand. Understand? Understand what? That you want to mess up your life for no good reason? You have responsibilities, June. I was shocked by Candace's outburst. It was like she was a completely different person. I had always thought of her as supportive and caring, but her reaction was the opposite. I'm not trying to be irresponsible. I just want to pursue something that makes me happy and that gives my life more meaning. I'm not sure why you're reacting this way. Meaning? You want meaning? You're married, June. You should be thinking about your family, not some silly, stupid dream. I can be a loving wife and follow my dreams too. I won't let it affect my responsibilities. Well, you better figure out how to do that because right now you're making a big mistake. Honestly, I'm disappointed in you. Our coffee date ended on a sour note that day. If you couldn't tell already. Candace's harsh words stayed in my mind, making me doubt my decision. But deep down, I knew I had to follow my heart, even if it meant facing disapproval from someone I loved. After the discouraging coffee date with my mother-in-law, I went back home, feeling disheartened and unsure about my decision. I sat down with Asher and recounted what had happened. Ash, you won't believe what Mom said. She was furious when I told her about wanting to quit my job and start something new. Really? I thought she'd be excited for you. What did she say exactly? She called me selfish, said I was making a big mistake and that I should focus on my responsibilities as a wife. What? Are you serious right now? Trust me, I was just as surprised as you are. June, don't let Mom's reaction get to you. You need to pursue what makes you happy. But Ash, maybe I'm being unreasonable. Maybe I should just forget about this whole thing. No, June. You've been talking about this for a while, and I can see how much it means to you. I don't know why she's acting so weird, honestly. I never expected that from her. But I know that you can do this. You really think so? I know so. You're so talented, babe. You're a jack of all trades. Even though you don't know what you want to do right now, I know that whatever it is will be amazing. You really mean that, Ash? I mean it, baby. If this is what you want to do, I'm behind you all the way. Thanks, babe. I appreciate your support. I'll prove to your mom and all the other haters that I can make this work. With Ash's encouragement, I decided to dive headfirst into the world of crochet. I purchased colorful yarn, hooks, and other supplies while I put my 2 weeks' notice at my boring 9-to-5. I ended up transforming our dining room into a cozy crochet corner, and once I was finally unemployed, I got to work. I started small, creating scarves, hats, keychains, decor, and blankets. And at first, things didn't seem like they would work. It was a lot of hard work, but I was determined to make this newfound hobby of mine a full-time business. As the weeks passed, I became more confident in my crochet skills and began designing unique patterns. I eventually opened an online shop on Etsy where I showcased my creations. The positive feedback and sales started rolling in, and I realized that I was onto something. You'd think that after seeing some of my projects and acknowledging my budding online store would change my mother-in-law's mind, but boy was I wrong. The tension between Candace and me escalated when she came over to our house one afternoon. She had stopped by to drop off some laundry because her washing machine was acting up, and she was apparently disgusted when she saw the sheer amount of crochet strewn all over the place. "June, what on earth is all this mess?" "Oh, these are my crochet projects. I've started the little business I was telling you about." "So you've decided to be a knitter?" "Well, it's actually crochet, but technically, yeah, I make these projects and sell them online. Look at my Etsy, it's so cute. If you'd like, I can make something for you too." Candace's expression twisted into one of disgust. She looked at my crochet work as if it was some kind of disease. Her disapproval was palpable. "Crochet? Really, June? Isn't this a waste of your time?" I could feel my anger bubbling up. Who was she to judge my dreams and aspirations? "Mom, I'm trying something new, something I'm passionate about. If you can't be supportive, then maybe you should leave." Candace didn't take kindly to that suggestion. She exploded into a tirade of insults, which honestly baffled me because what the hell? Talking to me like I'm a cockroach in my home? Not on my watch. "How dare you tell me to leave? I'm here to help you, and this is how you treat me?" "Help? Mom? You're not helping at all. You're being negative and disrespectful." "Well, how many things have you sold? How much money have you made?" I hesitated for a moment, then sighed in defeat. "I've made around $200 so far." Candace burst into laughter, which was just rude and unnecessary in my opinion. $200? June, you're being delusional, sweetie. You should give up this nonsense and go back to work." "Well, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I've already resigned from my job." Then her face twisted with shock and anger. Honestly, I thought she was going to transform into a beast or something. She had never acted this way before. Imagine if Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog started acting like Dracula or something. Unnatural, right? Imagine how scared I was because I was witnessing that in real time. She clearly hadn't known I'd quit my job. "You quit your job without even telling me? How irresponsible can you be?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I needed your permission." The argument escalated, with Candace even throwing some of my crochet projects around in an attempt to ruin them. That was the final straw because I don't play when it comes to my business. "Candace, I won't tolerate this. You need to leave right now or I'll call the cops." I had never been so angry in my life, but I knew I had to stand my ground and protect my newfound passion and dreams from those who sought to tear them down. She was surprised and tried to call my bluff, but when she saw no hesitation in me reaching for my phone, she backed off. "Fine, I'll leave, but just know this, you're a terrible mother and a terrible wife, and you'll never be good enough for my son." After Candace left, I was left alone in the house, feeling a mixture of anger, frustration, and sadness. Her hurtful words had cut me deeply, and I couldn't shake feeling so crappy after her horrible words. I mean, who does that to their own daughter-in-law, for Christ's sake? When Asher got home that evening, he looked visibly upset. He told me he had spent the whole day arguing with his mom on the phone after she had called him. after she left my home, trying to get him to take her side in the argument. But Asher, being the loving and thoughtful husband he always was sure to take my side. Or just the side he thought was right anyway, and that was clearly mine, because his mother's hatred was stupid, to say the least. You won't believe the day I've had. Mom called me and started essentially gossiping about you. It was weird. Asher, I can't believe she would do this. What's gotten into her? We sat down and I explained everything that had transpired during her visit. I couldn't help but wonder if she was somehow jealous of me, of my newfound aspirations, which made no sense to me. I mean, Asher, why would your mom suddenly act so mean-spirited? It's like she's trying to tear me down. Asher sighed, clearly torn between his loyalty to his wife and his mother. I told him about the jealous theory, and he seemed hesitant. I don't know, June. I think she's acting crazy, but jealous? But when I think about it, I can't come up with any other reasonable explanation either, so I really don't know. Hey, maybe you're right. In the end, Asher suggested that both Candace and I needed some space from each other. He hoped that his mother would eventually come around and stop being so rude and hurtful. I hope so too, babe, but you know what? I'm going to use this anger as fuel to prove her wrong. She said I wasn't good enough for you, and I'll show her just how capable I am and how wrong she is. With newfound determination, I threw myself into my crochet projects, working tirelessly to prove not only to Candace but to myself that I was more than capable of pursuing my dreams and making them a reality. Well, guys, you won't believe what happened next. I was on cloud 9 with my crochet business. Not Your Average Creations, a cute name, I know. I had this thriving online store, my own website, and a steady stream of customers. I even started offering crochet starter kits, and they were a hit, giving beginners a taste of this wonderful craft. My crochet business was doing so well that I was making around $5,000 a month, and I was set to only get better since I was planning on employing more people on my team to help me out. My husband, Asher, and our kids were over the moon proud of me. It felt like a dream come true. To top it all off, a wealthy client wanted to invest in my business. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about that? It seemed like the sky was the limit. But of course, the ever-present thorn in my side had to make her presence known. Candace, who was still, thankfully, absent after our last big fight, showed up on our doorstep. When she saw the house overflowing with crochet projects, she lost it all over again, slamming divorce papers down on the table. Yep, you heard me right. Divorce papers. She accused me of ruining the family with my stupid hobby. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I understood that she wasn't thrilled about my crochet journey, but this? Divorce? I looked at those papers, my heart pounding. Asher, who had been supportive all along, was just as shocked. I didn't know what to do or say. This has gone on for far too long now. I'll make sure you two are divorced, even if I have to force you to sign these papers, and you only have yourself to blame, June. Asher and Candace got into a heated argument. They yelled back and forth until I couldn't take it anymore. I interrupted, determined to confront Candace and put an end to this madness. I got up, getting right in her face, and calmly explained that I wasn't giving up my business. Not now, especially when it was booming. I told her about the investor and my projected earnings, mentioning that I could be making a minimum of $15,000 a month by the end of the year. Her expression changed from anger to embarrassment. What? You heard me, $15,000 a month. I don't know what to say. Luckily, you don't have to say anything since you want me to leave. That's what I'll do. I wanted to make her sweat, even though I had no intention of actually leaving. And I'm sure my poor husband was scared shitless for a second. Candace started begging for me to stay, but I held firm, reminding her that this was what she wanted all along, and she shouldn't have a change of heart now. Ma, you've done a lot of crazy things throughout the years, but seriously, nothing tops this. What is wrong with you? You were so disgusted by this business, and June, And now you want her to stay? Once you heard those figures, you had a change of heart, huh? It's seriously embarrassing. Get a grip. Don't talk to me that way. I'm your mother. But you're acting like a child. I don't know why you've hated this from the jump, but I'm here to succeed, and if you don't want any part of that, that's fine. No, June dear, wait, listen. I didn't mean those things I said. I was just worried that you'd end up unsuccessful. But why were you so triggered? You weren't concerned, Candace. You were just ugly and hateful. Candace then took a deep breath and revealed that she had been having some health problems. She had been feeling frustrated and feeling as though she could no longer live the life she wanted. You see, Candace used to work for an agricultural factory before she retired, and unfortunately those types of jobs have a bad rep for causing health-related disorders down the line. Candace revealed that she had developed some respiratory issues as a result of inhaling those toxic fumes on a daily basis, and that her doctor said that things could get worse if she didn't get treated. She explained that she felt bitter and resentful because for 40 years she had worked a job she absolutely hated and had to pay for it with her health. So when she heard about my silly crochet business, she lost it, I guess, and had a jealous meltdown. I guess she thought that if she had to suffer all those years, then I did too. But now that she had heard that I was making this amount of money, that jealousy and bitterness quickly turned to admiration, I guess. Eye roll, am I right? Why do people only want you when you can help them out? It's pathetic. She hoped that with my newfound wealth from crocheting, I could help her pay for her upcoming medical bills as she started to plan treatment for her messed up lungs. I scoffed at her, feeling like she was trying to manipulate the situation to her advantage after realizing the potential income involved in my business. Why should I help you after all the crap you put me through? What? June, I just told you what I'm going through. Look, I'm sorry if I made you feel upset, but you have to understand that you're a bitter and jealous woman with no self-respect. Trust me, that was clear from the moment you walked in here. Asher, don't let her speak to me that way. Honestly, Mom, I think it's best if you leave. There's a lot my wife and I need to discuss. I could visibly see how hurt she was, but in that moment, I didn't care. How could she be so rude when she needed help? Surely that would make someone just a little bit kinder, no? When she reluctantly left, tears in her eyes, Asher and I got to talking. He said that he was hurt by his mother's actions and was obviously sad to see her suffering like this, but he knew that helping her was completely up to me considering the hell she put me through. I decided that I was going to help her. Obviously, even though she was a raging bitch, I wanted my kids to have their gram in their lives just a little bit longer, and I knew that I would get over her stupid antics eventually, even though I'm not excusing her behavior. I can understand how scary and alone she must have felt. So I will help her, but I'm gonna let her sweat for a little bit, as revenge for the crap she put me through. Tit for tat, after all.